5 things that you need to know for your weekend.
Yeah, we went through the news for Disney, Universal, theme parks, and we picked out 5 cool, interesting things, and we're going to share them with you here today so you don't have to go watch or read them.
That's the key. That's the key takeaway here. We're going to try to keep it short and sweet and just sum up what's going on. Number 1, concert lineup for Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
At Walt Disney World. See who is coming. See who's lined up. What do you think? International Garden Festival?
I always go through the list of people they have perform at Epcot, and we were there when Boyz II Men was performing,
Epic.
which was pretty interesting, right? Boyz II Men is a band, if you're around, were they in the 80s or the 90s?
I don't care.
But it was fun.
They're awesome.
And I'm going through this list right here of bands/artists that are performing, and I always think to myself, how much do they have to pay them to come and perform at Epcot? Because it's not like a big show.
Yeah, that's true.
But they have Journey, former lead vocalist Steve somebody.
How do we find out? I want to know how much they get paid, actually.
If you look at these lists, like Daughtry, wasn't he on a show on TV or something? Yeah, Smash maybe. Mouth, that's like a band from the 2000s.
Okay.
The Pointer Sisters. Starship. Who else is on here? Cool in the Gang.
Many folks. Many people. This is...
Rick Springfield. This is like, they get anybody who do they like... All right, we're going to seek out this person, or they just try to get whoever they can?
They say that there is sure to be an artist that will get you on your feet and dancing like no one is watching.
Well, there's a lot of people watching.
There's a lot of people watching. Don't let that fool you. There's a lot of people walking by secretly judging you.
You know what they do, though? They do a good job of mixing it up, where it can be somebody for every genre of music that you like.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't always have to be like the same genre of music. It's not always country or always hip hop or always old rock and roll. They do a good job of mixing it up so they can probably reach every demographic.
Yeah, and I like that. And actually, kidding aside, like, I do think that it is music that does give you a beat and like excited to be there. Even if you're not staying for the concert, it does give Epcot like another element of fun. And so I love any kind of festival at Epcot, and I love when they bring in performers. It's super fun.
The other big news is Tron is finally opening, and they have a date. It's opening on April 4th. Hopefully this isn't an April Fool's thing.
Right? April 4th, there's news about how things are going to be handled. I love the sign. I think the signage looks awesome.
It does look pretty cool. It looks so futuristic.
It looks so Tomorrowland. Good job, Walt Disney World. Disneyland, take note.
Right?
Tomorrowland and Disneyland needs a little love. I can be available for a consult if you need me. Anybody could be helpful for the Disneyland, Tomorrowland, but this looks awesome.
We put on our unlockingthemagictravel.com. There's a blog post about 4 things you need to know about the opening of Tron.
5 things. Number 1, it's sponsored by Enterprise. I didn't even know that until you pulled this.
The rental car company?
Yeah. It's
we're back to that?
Yeah, we're back to that. But hey, everybody's got to make their money somehow.
That is true. Wow, that's a pretty big,
bold move of...
Yeah, it's like sponsoring a sports stadium.
Right? Yeah. So, okay, join Team Blue via the virtual queue. What's that about? I didn't even read any of that.
The virtual queue is queue just like Rise of the Resistance when it first opened, or Mickey's Runaway Railway when it opens. They just want you to not have to bombard the opening. They're going to give you like a virtual queue, and you're going to have to come back at your time frame.
So standby queue will not be available during the opening.
They do have individual lightning lane, though.
Fun times. Guests may also have the option to purchase individual or a la carte lightning lane entry in the Disney app. I'm sure that's also going to be crashing when Tron opens, but hey, whatever. The new locker system. So first of all, I love the blues, the design. That's what really captures my eye of the whole theme of this attraction. It's super futuristic. I love these lockers, but what I found out that I love even more is that as much as I say I don't like being on my phone in Walt Disney World, I love the fact that you can bring your phone on this attraction, mainly because for selfish reasons, I want to be taking note and video and just recording all the queue.
They have these lockers at Velocicoaster. So how these double-sided lockers work is, and it's strange. I still don't really fathom how it works, but you put your stuff in one side of the locker, and that's before you go on the attraction. When you get off, your stuff magically appears on the other side. It's almost like they push it to the other side.
It's magic. Imagine if there's like little, I don't know, creatures that are just in there. Like, have you ever seen the movie Labyrinth?
No.
with David Bowie?
No.
The Goblin King?
No.
Oh my gosh, I have work to do with you. But there's like in the labyrinth itself, there's like little creatures. Maybe they have little creatures like pushing your stuff for you.
It does say that inside the attraction queue, these complimentary lockers paired directly with a Magic Band Plus, or Ticket Media. But are you going to have to use your phone? Because when you use the app on your phone to get into the hotel rooms, it doesn't work that great.
Yes, you're going to have to use your phone, and that's fine.
That's why you probably have to take your phone with you.
Oh, yeah, and put it. How many people are going to forget it?
Or lose their phone on the ride because they're trying to hold their phone up, trying to take a video of the attractions. That'll be me.
Or the cat. Oh, man, I would hate to actually have to reinforce that as a cast member. Like, make sure if you have a phone, it's actually secure in the little compartment that is available on the motorcycle.
It also says Disney Photo Pass and video offerings, which is a unique spin. Video offerings? That means they're going to have video. I don't know if I want video of me on the attraction shown to anybody.
Well, they have something like that on the Tower of Terror where you get to see the video of you. Yeah,
I guess that's true, but they always have it at the most awkward position.
That's the best part. You can laugh and, bring along some.
Yeah, but they share it on the big screen. I don't want everybody to see it. I don't mind if you take awkward video of me on an attraction if nobody sees it other than them just sending it to your My Disney Plus.
I think that's what is happening with this one. I don't think there's going to be a big screen. It's not like you're thinking of like a spaceship Earth where you come off and you see a picture of you from wherever you said, and you're like, oh, that was the worst picture of me.
I'm so embarrassed. I was having fun on the ride. I didn't think anybody was going to see it. Now it's up on the big screen.
That's the best.
I do not want that.
I do look at all the pictures too.
All right, next up on the agenda here is Universal Resort Orlando launches Epic Ticket Deal. They do this quite a bit. You buy 3 days and you get 2 park tickets for free. They do this quite often throughout the year where they kind of give you this extra 2 days. And I think they do it because they want people, they know that, we've talked to somebody at Universal, they know that Universal is kind of a secondary visit for people. And if you can get them to go 5 days, it'll be the primary visit for people, and maybe Disney will be the secondary.
They'll be like, oh, actually Universal is super fun, and I do experience some magic here in some way. I don't know. To me, Universal's super fun. It's a super fun place to visit. Disney's magical.
You said it correctly when we did another podcast. You said Universal is fun. Disney is magical, right? Like Disney, you can go.
No, I just said it just now.
Oh, you said it just now?
Like 1 second ago.
No, I wasn't. When the hosts aren't listening.
Okay, but yeah, I'm glad that you can repeat what I said.
I didn't hear the Universal is fun part.
Okay, but I agree. I think that's why they do it. And just for $35 more, guests can upgrade their ticket to include Universal's Volcano Bay water theme park, which I think that is actually the game changer, because I will say Volcano Bay is the one thing that Universal definitely does above Disney. They really have their water park, the process of it, all of it really down pat. And it's a very enjoyable experience. And it's right next to the highway or I-4, and you'd never know it. So
no, they do a good job of making you feel like you're not next to the highway. You know what I love about these ticket experiences? Disney does this too.
What?
You're like, I'm going to go to the park for 2 days. And you're like, all right, I'm going to go to the park for 2 days. I'm going to go online. I'm going to get my ticket. And then you look right next to it, and it's like, for $50 more, you can go for 3 days. And then you're like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go for 3 days. And then you look next to it. It's like, for $20 more, you can go for 4 days. And this happened to us at Disneyland. Before I know it, I'm going to Disneyland for 5 days.
Then before you know it, you're an annual pass holder.
I know. They totally, we need to figure that system out for this podcast or YouTube channel. If you subscribe to this, you're going to love Club UTM.
And just for a couple of dollars more,
right? Then you can support the podcast over here by advertising on the show. We need to figure some system out like that, because that is some sort of system they have going on over there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, next, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway opens at Disneyland. What do you think about the Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway? I've seen it in photos. I haven't watched any videos, and I've talked to a couple people who have been on, and the queue looks pretty cool over there.
Okay, so I wasn't too excited. Even when we were in Disneyland and realized that we weren't going to be there during the opening of it, I was okay with it. I didn't want them to touch Toontown. But I think they have turned my mind a little bit with the fact that the queue, you're right, the exterior, the facade actually looks really good. And I think they have redeemed themselves. And I'm excited.
I think they did a better job on the queue. I'm trying to see if here I can see it on the San Diego Tribune.
We have someone on our Club UTM that said, this looks so good. Need to go next time I'm in SoCal, and definitely forgive them for the Toontown refurbishment now. And I I agree with that statement.
Yeah, I saw a photo of the outside. It looks like they did it. It looks like they got to do in Disneyland exactly what they wanted to do.
Right.
Instead of having to retrofit the Great Movie Ride into something different and keeping the outside and the facade and like all this main structure there. They got to kind of build what they wanted to build out of it.
It looks good. I'm happy. I think I've heard that the queue is a different experience. It's a little bit. I was afraid that they were just going to copy paste.
Yeah.
What they have at Hollywood Studios currently, which I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of how Galaxy's Edge is the same sort of thing.
Yeah, we went to Disneyland recently. We didn't even really need to go to Galaxy's Edge, and it seemed like nobody else did either because it was very not busy in there.
It was very empty. Yeah, it wasn't some place that people I saw felt the need to hang, which is sad because they spent a lot of money building that, and it is an immersive experience. But I just want separate things, and the Matterhorn is at Disneyland. I can't get that at Walt Disney World, so I like that, but. Whatever. I'm glad that they switched it up a little bit here. Would I have wanted something totally different? Yes, but it's fine. With
what they did do too in front of the Roger Rabbit, they put this grass area where you can almost like a picnic area. It looks like they took your advice. It's almost like you can sit there now. It's fake grass, but it's an area where you can just hang out.
That is awesome because I have been saying that for years in Magic Kingdom before they had the grassy area in front of Cinderella Castle. I had always said, I wish there was a place where we could just, if you didn't have a picnic blanket or whatever, just like sit down and just soak in the atmosphere. People watch a little bit, take a nap, whatever. It's just it's an expensive place to nap, I guess. So maybe.
Yeah, but you need a nap. Whenever you're at Disneyland, especially if you're from the East Coast and you visit Disneyland, there's always that time gap that you never really get used to.
True.
So you're up early, and halfway through the day, you want to take a little bit of a nap. At least we did, and that would be a great place to kind of do without having to go all the way back to your hotel room.
Right. It's not exactly like you don't want to take the time to do all that, but that's exciting. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm happy to see a little bit of because Disneyland is really small. There's not really a whole bunch of places to kind of sit.
All right, number 5 on the 5 things you need to know this weekend. Sorry, I'm moving the show along.
Number 5. Okay.
This epic drone show debuts at Disneyland Paris, and it's a Marvel drone show. And there's a video, which I can't play here because the audio never really comes through clear, but it's a Marvel drone show. And if you watch this video that they have here, they have this drones flying over the Tower of Terror in the shape of Thor's hammer and Captain America's shield. And it looks just like it in the air, and they have a whole symphony music going on and fireworks going on alongside it. We need this in Hollywood Studios.
Now, we don't want to copy paste, but maybe this one.
I want to copy paste this because if you watch this video right here, and you know what, I'll play a little bit of it for you. You won't be able to hear anything, but you will be able to see some of it. If you look at this drawings and the Hulk and the Captain America on the Tower of Terror. Now he talks in French on this, so you have to speak French, and they have a English part as well. But you can definitely see the drones and what they look like in the sky. And these drones are so sophisticated, they can have them do. Look at what they have them do right there.
My gosh, that's Captain America's shield.
Yeah, it looks amazing, doesn't it?
How is that possible?
I don't know, but this drone show looks pretty epic, and I hope that they figure it out perfectly in Disneyland Paris. And then this is one thing I do want them to copy and bring to Magic Kingdom and even Disneyland.
It says that they spent 6 months conceiving and creating the display in partnership with France-based drone entertainment company. 6 months, that's it? That's pretty incredible.
Well, one of the questions was, it says, what's the big challenge of creating this drone show? And it said, to be honest, it might sound a bit cheesy, but it was only fun. There was no real challenge. It was just fun to do that. And you know what? They have a new score from a symphony that they have playing on this. You know what? I'll link the video of this because it's a cool video. I don't usually say Disney does a good job with videos or social media, but on this one, they did a good job. It's like a 2-minute video, so it's short, to the point, and it's very entertaining.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. I think that's cool. I do think that we could use a version of that over in the U.S.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Or you just have to go to Disneyland Paris.
I mean, maybe one more reason to visit Disneyland Paris. It's something that people have always suggested we should do. Mm-hmm. All right, those are 5 things you need to know. Let us know what you think of the question of the show. What's the question of the show today?
We don't have a question of the show.
We got to have a question of the show because I said if you comment for the question of the show, you have a chance to win something from the UTM store.
All right. Should Disney copy paste attractions? Should that be a thing? What they do where they bring, let's say, this show that's in Disneyland Paris, should they bring it to the U.S.? How do you feel about that?
Do you want to see the Disneyland Paris drone show come to Magic Kingdom and Disneyland?
All right.
Let us know in the comments below. Also, all of the links, the video, clubutm.co, our store, our travel agency. Everything will be linked in the comments below. Please check that out. Very much appreciate your support and hanging out with us here on the YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.